We draw a line between business and kind of our friendship.
Mute yourself for a while.
The only thing that changes is, the journey there.
If not now, then when?
So what you're going through today could be a stepping stone for tomorrow.
I want to have a clear vision for the next 5 years.
Feeling is different when you're doing it for yourself.
See, what do you term an investor? Is it just limited to money?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Breaking Uneven podcast. We love to talk shop, uncover the beauty of failures, and play a few games. Today, we have with us the founders of Gro Club, Roopesh, Rishi, Sapna, and Pruthvi. Amongst our four guests, we've got experts in business, marketing, tech, and entrepreneurship. Now, I hope I've been able to do some justice to your introductions, but let's unpack everything that you all have done so far in the last few years to grow Club.
Cool. So we're going to get into it with a challenge first up. This is called the Twitter Pit Challenge. Now, mind you, we usually play this with one or two guests. So we have each of the guests perform the challenge. But since we've got four of you all here, we've kind of split it up. So Twitter is known for its 280 character limit on every tweet, which sometimes makes it a little difficult to convey your thoughts. It takes about 20 seconds to speak 280 characters. And we're going to transfer this challenge to you. But you also need to use one emoji and one hashtag in your tweet. So for the four of you, the way we're going to do this is we're going to split it up. So Rupesh, our digital expert here, you will be giving us the one-liner description. So you have about 10 seconds to give us that. Rishi, the marketing savant, is going to choose an emoji that describes Gro Club. Pruthvi who's the serial entrepreneur. Again, these are titles that I have gleaned for your basis your LinkedIn profiles. So Pruthvi, you will be giving us the hashtag, and then Sapna, you have to rate the entire tweet on a scale of 1 to 10, basis how good a job the three of them have done. So is everyone's role clear?
Yep.
Sure.
That's
Perfect.
good.
Awesome. So I'm just going to start my timer here. All right, so Rupesh, you've got 10 seconds to give a one-liner description of what Gro Club is. The time starts now.
All right. Grow Club is a platform designed to subscribe kids' products, focus on the circular economy, reduce wastage, and make it accessible for as many people as possible.
All right, so you went over 10 seconds, but it is a one-liner, so we will still give you the points for that. Next up, we've got Rishi, who's going to give us the emoji. Rishi, you have 5 seconds to choose an emoji to describe Grow Club. 3, 2, 1, go.
Choose a smiley face because that's what we want to see on kids' faces when they get their products.
Interesting. Awesome. Pruthvi, you're going to give us a hashtag in 3, 2, 1, go.
Think circular, because at our core, right, so we are a circular company.
Nice. Amazing. And Sapna, now you have all the time in the world to rate the emoji hashtag plus one-liner. What do you think? Did they do a good job?
Individually or collectively?
Collectively.
Collectively, it would be 10. I mean,
10. Wow.
because they have packaged everything together.
Perfect. So we're off to a good start in that case.
Yeah, so we wanted to start with a conversation with you, Sapna, and whose LinkedIn is easily the most mysterious out of all of y'all. So, Sapna, how did your journey start with Grow Club, and what is the role that you play out there?
Janvi and Anuj, thank you for having us. So, it started with the COVID, where we used to see, like me and, the three of us, we used to go for a walk, or, like when we used to see in our own neighborhood, we used to see kids just throwing away their bicycles, not to be used. So that is where the idea germinated. So then we took a year to just work on that idea, and it was in 2022 that we got this platform up and running. Right now, I enjoy. I'm a people person, so I enjoy taking care of the grow people. So that's the reason why I gave 10, because these people are amazing.
So it was like a long-standing friendship before you all decided to
Correct.
become business. So was there any hiccup in that sense? Like, did y'all ever think yeah, like were you all always okay with being business partners with your friends?
No, we draw a line between business and kind of our friendship, and also at the same time, right? So this is something which we have gotten together to kind of build a business because of our passion for what we want to do. So our ideas kind of converge, and I don't see so far, at least it's been like a 2.5 year journey, and so far we haven't seen much differences emerge in our partnership.
Actually, I can add a little bit to that. What we figured out, and I think it happened fairly quickly, was that we had little overlaps between our roles, and that kind of complemented it so well. We just basically fell into the roles that we are performing. It was not designed, it wasn't like, discussed, no chits were distributed or anything. We just fell into those four roles, and that is the best part. The What we do on a day-to-day basis complements each other, and the combination of that, I think, is the win-win, for us at least.
And if you look at our business also, right? So it's all about kids. So nothing much can go wrong there.
Yeah, among us we have
So
five.
we've all been parents, and of course, Sapna is the most
Yeah,
experienced.
I have two teenage boys. Well,
She's right now parenting two teenage boys. So
so that is where it starts.
yeah,
Yeah, no, and I think so. Basis the kind of very rough titles that I came up with, that we came up with for each of you, it kind of makes sense, right? As you said, Rupesh,
right,
there's a bit of overlap, and then there's your each of your own fields of expertise as well.
right.
But so Janvi and I actually have a similar story with a company that we had done previously with three other friends. So we were five of us as co-founders. Um, and obviously, like we were just exiting college in our last year of college and lockdown times. We started a company. It went really well throughout lockdown. We created a lot of traction, but as we were kind of exiting college and thinking, now what's next, what's our career, how do we make money, etc., we realized that the goal for each of the five of us was quite different with respect to the company, right? For a couple of us, it was, hey, let's start making money from this immediately. For a couple of us, it was, no, let's grow it a little more with the money can wait, etc. And the shifting priorities were so vastly different that we eventually decided to give the company a happy ending, that it was a lockdown story, and just closed it off. So what I wanted to know, and Rishi, I'd love your insight on this, is as four co-founders with potentially different perspectives on the business every now and then, how do you align yourselves to the same vision and goal continuously?
See, one way of doing it is, so we already have a 5 year vision set. So right now, day in and day out, what we do is just execution. So that way, right? So we already have listed out minute task what each one has to perform, and we are just working on that. And we go in phases. We execute in phases. So right now we are in our first phase of execution. So once that is complete, we go on to a different phase. Yeah, that's how it is. And that's all. At least I am seeing. So probably others can add to.
Yeah, so we got together on a common goal, right? So we knew this is the direction we're going in. So the only thing that changes is, the journey there. Maybe something we're doing is not working. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? That's where we get together, fix things, and then maybe take another path. But the destination is already set, and we have a clear roadmap on where we want to.
Interesting. So, an add-on question to that would be, Sapna, for
Yeah.
you, is when y'all, let's say, do have a dispute on a particular, direction or decision, etc. What is the best way that y'all choose to solve that dispute?
Mute yourself for a while, think what we had done wrong, then get back to it. Maybe in a few minutes or so, then things are sorted. Just like kids, like how we are. The basically we are kids. So you got to keep quiet and work on it. So that's exactly what we are following.
And
I
also,
feel
if you look at the four of us, right? So we come from, at least Rupesh comes from 20 years of experience, and I pretty much come like we all have like more than a decade old experience. So we are all professionals. So when it comes to certain decisions, so we are most of the time we are all aligned, and most of the decisions also what we make, right? So it's always in the best interest of the business. So.
Fair enough. I feel like Sapna, what you just said, like also reflected a lot of like parenting styles in it. So, given that your company is for kids and all of you are also parents, Rupesh, any like thing from your parenting that you've implemented while starting this company, or any disputes that you've handled like that?
As a parent, what I do, I mean, I've always wanted my child to be as independent as possible. Do things with your hands, make things happen, be it whatever that she's interested in. When it comes to work, my role is to provide tools to the team so that they can excel at what they do. My job is to support them on a day-to-day basis, that here is stuff for you, now you can make something more out of it. So when it comes to our products, when it comes to our the way things are on the business front as well, what we are giving kids is something that they can make out of. Like, for example, we started off with bicycles. Now, we're giving them outdoorsiness. We're giving them the freedom to move around. We're giving them the ability to ride around the neighborhood and get the sense of that freedom that comes along with it. What we are going to continue to do is provide them with more such tools to kind of just better their life, make it more accessible. So if you kind of combine all of this, it's about how can you enable others to be their best selves. And I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, fair enough. And I think that was like put really beautifully in terms of like how it is very transitionary in terms of like your role as a parent versus also your role as an entrepreneur. But okay, so like then to see like given that you have been a serial entrepreneur throughout, what has kept you to be one? Like what has kept you motivated to start a company and then move on to the next and the next versus doing something else, or also getting a job, for example?
Okay, so one thing that actually always keeps me going is I always have this ambition to kind of do something big in life, and that is the motivation I have. And also in the process, right? So as startups, like you go through various ups and downs, and what I believe is like so what you're going through today could be a stepping stone for tomorrow. So from that perspective, right? So in if I look back in my 10 years of journey, right? So whatever I have done each year, right? So that has added a lot of value to the next year that has come. So I think that has kept me going. And see, most importantly in my entrepreneurial journey, right? So I look for meaning. So if it is meaningful, and if I'm able to kind of put in my passion, and if we are able to build something from a scratch to like a behemoth, so that is what I look forward to. And I'm still in on my journey, and we are only kind of getting started. So it's still a long way to go. So that's how I see things.
Interesting. So, coming to Rishi, what about you? Um, what is your why for being an entrepreneur and not getting a job? Shifting careers, and how do you choose which is the right idea? If you are a serial entrepreneur, you probably have 10 ideas a day, right? I'm sure you must be having 10 business ideas a day. How and why do you decide which is the right one?
See, we didn't start off as an entrepreneur. In fact, before Screen, I worked with Pruthvi, and I was Prithvi's client at one point. And then I saw that they were doing something interesting, and that's when we joined hands, and I got together for Screen. So I did have a marketing career working for somebody else or working for another company. But the main thing is, we used to do this for our clients day in, day out. We saw what we did gave them success, and it got us thinking, why not do it for ourselves? If we can do it for somebody else, the same effort, why don't we try for ourselves? And that's how we got into this zone of trying to build something that we can scale, and finally see the benefit or the entire benefit, because it will always be a project or something for a client that we used to work on. But definitely, feeling is different when you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I think with being an entrepreneur, the first thing you look for is that the impact of every decision, you feel it, whether it's good or bad. You want to feel both sides for it yourself. So speaking of careers, Rupesh, you have a pretty, you had a pretty standard corporate career. You ended your last stint with Ogilvy before you moved
I think the
to Grow
hardest
Club. So
transition is for Roopesh that has happened because I started off as an entrepreneur. Roopesh always has been at a corporate level and a very well settled job. So this is like,
exactly, and that's what I wanted to
yeah,
ask was, Rupesh, it's not easy to leave, a good
yeah.
salary, a good corporate career to risk it all for yourself, especially when you do have kids and many other responsibilities to think about. So, what is it that convinced you?
Well, a couple of things. First was this one question that runs in your mind: if not now, then when? Right? What I do at Grow Club is what I was doing day and night for somebody else. Right? These tech solutions, bringing platforms to life, was what I was anyways doing elsewhere. And what kind of came out was that, am I getting all the fruits of the work? I'm getting paid, yes, no doubt. Good pay. There's a lot of back patting that happens at work. We get thank yous from clients. We win some awards. But then, where are the actual fruits? Who's taking away those actual fruits? Was the question that was running in my mind. Combine that with if not now, then when? That was running in our mind. And one of these lockdown trips to Bangalore, we really sat and thought that, can we bring this to life? Is it a real pain point? Is there a real solution that we can bring to market? Can we create a real difference for all three, right? For the four of us, for our subscribers, and for our investors. Can we create value? Now, once these tick boxes started ticking off one by one, it became amply clear that this needs to be tried. And this needs to be tried now, if not later. I mean, this is a time when, I think I'm still capable of putting in some grunt work, getting down and dirty, rolling up sleeves, and really working. That's what exactly we do on a day-to-day basis. If that won't happen now, down the line it's going to get even more tougher. So might as well just take the plunge.
It's funny that you use that phrase because, like, I recently moved from London to back to Mumbai, and that's all I kept thinking about. Like, if not now, then when? Like, what is gonna do? Like, cause you're always scared to make like a change or a decision that's gonna change your life quite a bit. So it's like, how do you overcome that? So yeah, the minute you said that, like my my brain just went back to that moment where I was trying to like decide whether to move back or not. But Sapna, if you had to like start Grow Club again today, then what would you do? Like, what is one thing that you would do differently from what you initially did?
Have a better plan for the next, like with a good product for the next 5 years. Like what we have right now, we shouldn't be, like every day, day in and day out. We have to think over where are the investors. I mean, those are the things that I really want to put on, in one place and then starting, like the reverse engineering kind of a thing. Where I don't want to come in and say, okay, today I want to do this, tomorrow I want to. No, I don't want to do that. I want to have a clear vision for the next 5 years. That's exactly what I want to do if I want to start.
Fair enough. And do you have like a method that you could use to get that like clear vision? I feel like early on it's quite difficult to get everyone on the same page or like try to figure how to. So like what would you say is the best way to like think in a certain way or like have discussions with your partners in a certain way that makes sure that you go down that path of like clear vision of the near future?
Absolutely. So this started during the COVID. So where we couldn't, what we wanted to convey, we couldn't convey. I mean, like the Zoom calls are not my thing. So, like a one-on-one is where I would like to meet people, and like that is where I want to start. That is where I want to start first. It's the physical meeting I would like to start, and then like get the people around. I mean, like right now we were scattered, so I want to meet the investors first. Then there is a methodology for that, and then get the products right. Like those are the things I would like to work on. Like I'm sure if Prithvi or anyone has a good point to add to it.
Yeah,
No.
so Prithvi, before you add to it, I actually wanted to pass this question to you, which was because you're a serial entrepreneur, and I've had experience building a business where I had the exact same thought as Sapna as that, which if I could go back a year and a half ago and restart, I would have like a much clearer plan. And then I realized that even the one that I'm starting today, I still can't do it because I need to get into it to realize exactly what I need. So what is your take on, to what extent do you ideate and plan before executing?
See, there are different levels of planning that happens. So one is at a business level, like what is the business you want to build, and where do you want to kind of take it to in the next 5 to 10 years. At least that vision you need to have. And what you see here, right? So it's four people who have at least the business what we have chosen, right? So I'm going to be going through the same point I think somebody mentioned earlier. So these are things which we have done in our professional careers again and again over a period of time. So that is that growing companies from 0 to 1, 1 to 5, 5 to 10. I can call it, right. So we pretty much, so Grow Club is something what we have chosen, which is completely within our bounds and within which lies in our strength. Right. So see, from when you're looking at business that way, right? So everything like so the day like every day when we turn up to office, right? So we pretty much know what to do for that day, and so whatever the decisions we need to make, so I think most of the decisions are like there are learnings, there are market shocks, there are always like that is something which you constantly need to learn from your consumers. So we just need to realign and we have to keep following on the path what we have chosen. So I think in my mind I don't see any complexities at least. So the way things are going for us, see, from time to time there will be certain challenges, you have to accept that, and always you need to carry a positive mindset to kind of overcome these hurdles and continue on a journey. I mean, that's pretty much it. The more you simplify it, simple things will get. So that's how I pursue things.
All right, fair enough. Rishi, I have a question for you. So the first part, I want you to give me a yes or no answer, which is, have you raised any funding yet? Yes. Okay. So when you when y'all want to raise funding, especially with four founders with as much experience as y'all, uh, could you tell me the single most important thing that you were wary of uh, when bringing on an investor? Something that you wanted to make sure didn't change about the business because you were bringing an investor on board.
Stay aligned with our vision. Basically, that's the most important thing. If you're going to be working with someone, or rather accepting somebody's investment, the thought process has to match. You have to be on the same wavelength. Um, and when you have a conversation with somebody, you can kind of understand this. What are they looking for out of this? And what are we looking for out of them? So, are we looking for just the money? Are we looking for some connections? Are we looking for some other help that they can bring to the table? And what is it that they're looking to get out of us, and how they see us? So, I think the main point is, do they believe in our vision? Is what the question is, and then everything else.
Okay, interesting. Rupesh, as per you, has there been any moment so far where you have felt like, the funding you raised has changed the way you all do things a bit?
Oh no, not one bit. I mean, that I can talk. very clearly and very emphatically. See, what do you term an investor? Is it just limited to money? If I was to add to Rishi's point, are they investing only money? Are they investing in people? Are they investing in the idea? Or are they investing more than just the money that they have? Can we look to them for network? Can we look to them for advice? Can we look to them for ideas? So, keeping those things in mind, I think bringing these investors on has just strengthened us. Not for a moment have we felt that, that this particular investor might deviate us from our course. There has not been a single moment, and that I can confidently say. I think I'm speaking for everybody else and can very
Definitely.
confidently say
Yeah.
that. Prithvi's had the highest investor relations amongst all of us. But I can talk on his behalf on this particular point that they've been nothing but helpful beyond the monies. And when we look at investors in the future, we have certain goals, we have certain characteristics. We are very bullish on circular economy, we are very bullish on sustainability. We really want to kind of prove that more can be done with far lesser. And when we look at our investors, we are also looking for investors who really believe in that and bring that kind of an investment into our business. It's meant for kids, yes, but does it have to result in wastage? Can that be saved? Can both of these be brought together? And that is exactly what we look for in our investors as well. And we've been actively kind of pursuing people who value that profile, who want to show us off that we've invested in this organization because it stands for all of this.
That's very interesting in the sense, like, I feel like it's rare for companies not to change a little bit at least when like they get investment, and for the bigger processes and thoughts to still stay the same as the one they initially started. So like, congratulations, I guess, to all of you for like keeping that like strong. But Priti, would you say, like, do you what would you say would be like three things that you would definitely look for in an investor that you would bring on board? And if like these three things are not there, then it would be a deal breaker regardless.
And see, first thing would be so they should deeply care about what business we are running. So what business we are doing, right? So because so we are completely changing the way how the entire segment, customer segment thinks. In fact, so our competitors are not other people who are selling similar products, but it's the traditional mindset of buying for kids to kind of in order to kind of give them a quality product. So we are going against the thought process of buy. So when we are kind of picked up like such a large kind of task at hand, right? So things may take a bit of a time for results to show, and people need to believe in the model. Customers need to believe in the model, and they need to have confidence. So there is a cycle. There is a 18 to 36 months cycle that goes into kind of before our business actually starts shining. See, one is the patience, second is alignment with our thought, and third is like, see, startups uh, kind of run in like in such a dynamic way. So the dynamics change every day, every month. Like so, it is always kind of good to have a support system who are kind of who will be there through our thick and thin times in the best interest of the business. So that's what, in fact, we would expect from our investors. The main reason why four of us came together, right? So it is because for a reason that we wanted to kind of reduce the wastage, the landfill that happens through usage of single-use kit products. So that is a core of it. That's a core belief. And in future, whoever investors we look for, right? So we would preferably choose someone who also believes in this core thought of what we carry to.
Like in terms of like listing things, I think it really helps also when you have like so many people working on it together. Like having four co-founders can get also tricky in the sense of making sure everyone's aligned and has the same thought process and vision for like the future and people to bring on board. And I think that, like you all said, that given that this is the core of it, like this is the problem we want to solve, and this is uh, the people, and our 5-year vision, I think like it helps everyone also be on the same page. Because yeah, I think um that could be a
Right.
little tricky. But like, yeah, Rishi, any thoughts on like how y'all make sure that all of y'all are on the same page versus not on like these big momentous decisions?
See, like I said before, right? We know where we have to go. So if that decision that somebody is taking is reaching there, uh, I mean, one is we have our responsibilities, and each of us have come into that space because we've got history or background of doing that for a couple of years. So the main thing is we trust each other in the process of what the other person is doing. But of course, big decisions. It's not like we're sitting in our bedrooms or offices and in silos, but we're not talking to each other. We have a discussion every day. Morning we get together with the whole team, and then we figure out what we're doing for the rest of the day, any issues that have arisen in the previous day or anything to do for the next day. So like that, we also keep connecting in between if there are decisions to be taken, and we kind of discuss possible outcomes. So, I mean, the main key point here to be aligned is communication, and without that, we won't be running this. We won't have reached here.
Yeah, each of our roles are well defined. No matter how many founders you have, when you have your roles well defined, the chances of overlap decreases, every day. So even if we want to overlap, there is a morning discussion that we go through and we take care of it.
Interesting. So, on that point of communication, let's go to our next challenge. Now, this one's called Two Lies, One Truth, where the idea is that you give us three statements, amongst which two of them are lies and one is the truth. But, of course, we generally play this with one or two guests since we have four of you and we're talking about your communication skills. Rupesh, you will be giving your three statements to Prithvi, and Sapna, you will be giving three statements to Rishi. And then Prithvi and Rishi all have to guess which one of their statements is the truth.
This is a tricky one.
Absolutely. I mean, Rishi, you know everything. So I'm just wondering what exactly should I throw around? So, Rishi, this is for you. I started my career journey as a HR analyst. The second being, I have my advanced diploma in French, and I have two kids who are Samruddh and Samarth.
This is the second one.
By the way, I know the answer to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rishi says second. I say it's the third one. The reason is you started your journey as an accounts analyst and you did Spanish literature.
Yeah. So what? I mean, Anuj was able. Come on, Rishi.
Rupesh, do you have your three
I have
statements?
something. I'm just going to go for it. Let's see if it
Go
works.
with it. Go with it.
So I aced mathematics in school. I've always won all the medals in sport that I participated, and I studied to be an aerospace engineer.
I think the second one, sports.
The third one is true.
No, no,
The
that's what.
first,
Sports
the
is a
first
lie.
two are
So
terribly
aeronautic.
wrong.
Yeah. Okay. The truth. Yeah, I know the truth. Aeronautic.
You know, I was going to help you there, Prithvi, by saying that someone who is topping mathematics cannot also be winning all the medals for sports. That is
Okay.
not generally a trend you see. So,
Guess what? Both of them are
that,
false.
exactly.
No, that's what. The sports thing. I saw it as false. Okay. Anyways, I got confused
I
between true
just
and false.
realized that I answered Sapna's question wrong. Yeah, so I got the thing wrong. It was two lies and a truth. I picked up the second one as wrong, but yeah,
Oh, you thought it was two
that's
truths and a lie.
yeah. No. I was picking up one lie. Yes.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
So let's play red flags. We're gonna give you three hypothetical situations composed of two things that are going great and one that's not so great, which is the red flag. You have to assume that these statements are true, and we've adapted these for you and Grow Club. and then you have to pick which one of these situations you would rather be in, and then tell us why. So once you've thought of which situation you would be in, we will ask you all to say it at once. So first, I'll list out all the situations, and then at the end we can have a countdown to like saying which situation you would rather pick. So situation one, Grow Club has grown to 100 employees. You are rotating 5,000 cycles on a monthly basis, but a service gone bad leads to a kid getting hurt on the cycle. Situation two, Crow Club is on track to raise a great round of funding. You have expanded to 15 cities across India, but your pricing model starts to break down at scale. Situation three, Crow Club has successfully reached 20 crores in yearly revenue. You have cracked a deal with a cycle manufacturer to create a large cost reduction, but one of your founders has to leave the company for personal reasons. So these are your three situations. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. What are your situations?
I'm the only one with
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah. So all three of us said 2, and then Sapna
Interesting.
said 1. Oh, interesting for sure. So Roopesh, what was your thought process for situation 2?
So it's not very difficult a situation actually. So we are on track for a great round of funding. That's excellent. We've expanded to 15 cities. That's brilliant. I feel we've already crossed two of those hurdles for the third one to actually take shape. But assume pricing model starts to break down. I think that's easy to fix. At least from where we stand right now and what journey we've kind of traversed, we've gone through a few pricing optimizations. And I think we can work with a few more very easily.
Fair enough. Rishi, was it a similar thought process, or there was a different reasoning for choosing situation 2?
Yes. No, the same reason, because to me this problem was not such a major thing that we couldn't solve. It's just a few steps, and then I'm sure we could crack this.
Fair. And Pruthvi, you?
I think it's a no-brainer because at scale, pricing becomes flexible. So,
Fair.
so that is like Rupesh said, it's easy to fix.
Yeah. And then Sapna, why didn't you, I guess, choose situation 2?
I mean, what's a kid, without getting hurt riding a bicycle? And we have already been through situations. So again, but well, first and foremost, I mean, thank you both and bless you both for giving us such positive points. The negative ones we will
Yeah,
take care of
that's
it.
right.
Just to add context here, Sapna is the only one with two kids, and all of the rest of us have one kid. So I think she's used to more of this at home.
No, fair enough. But yeah, and it's definitely interesting that none of y'all chose situation 3. Was that because of the red flag that one founder would be leaving, or
No, we were sure. We were so sure about the situation too because this is the situation we've been in. Like we've been there before.
We've done this more than once.
Yeah, because our journey started from zero subscribers, zero to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000. So different learning at different phase, and we have modified our pricing accordingly.
The first and two situations are pretty normal. The third, we really don't want to go there.
Yes, exactly.
No, fair enough. And Sapna, to be honest, when we were looking at devising these scenarios with situation 1, the red flag, we were actually waiting to see if someone would say, "Hey, a kid is meant to get hurt on a bike, so who cares?" And so it was nice that your your choice was because of that reason. But yeah, no. Let's move on to our final game. This is the rapid fire. So I will be going one by one to each of you with quick questions. Short 1-2 word answers. So Rupesh, how many days of leave have you taken in the last year?
I think about a week.
Okay. Prithvi, what was your proudest moment with Grow Club?
I think when we launched Gro Club, the launch day. There was a lot
Of
of
course.
hard work involved. Yeah. We were coming out of COVID and a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean the launch is, the first big step. So definitely something to be proud of. Yeah, Sapna, what was your biggest sacrifice to make Grow Club possible?
To leave my kids back home and do the journey in Bangalore to and fro, that's the sacrifice I have done so far.
Rishi, would you ride the Challenger or the Discoverer?
Discover.
Discoverer?
Challenge is too small. I can go faster on the Discover for my height because it's height specific.
Fair enough.
I do ride the Discover, just to clarify.
Oh, nice. Sapna, who is your strongest competitor?
It's Bike Club, right, Pruthvi?
Bike Club is in the UK, so we are one of its kind in India right now. But to be honest, don't have any competition.
That's a new.
I think
Wow.
if you ask me that question, I would say the traditional mindset of buying is our
Yeah.
subscribe for your kids. So that's the motto. It's something what we need to carry.
So at least in India, we don't have any. So if you want to
Correct.
talk internationally, then we can talk Bike Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Now see your competition internationally. Why not? Exactly. Prithvi, what was the one time you felt like you let Grow Club down?
I think that moment hasn't come yet, luckily.
Nice. Good. Here's to hoping that it won't. Rishi, what is one business idea that you had but never started?
I wanted to basically a service where you can upload like pictures, and then that gets sent as a postcard, like physically to somebody, like via mail.
Nice.
You go on a holiday, click a picture, upload it, and it goes where an actual like postcard goes instead of
Nice.
a picture on WhatsApp.
Super cool. All right, Rupesh, final question for you. What would you do if not Grow Club?
Yeah, well, I was
Don't
already in
think
a job,
alternate.
so
It's just Grow Club.
it's like a little bit of a no-brainer for me. I loved the place. I mean, everyone knows I really loved what I was doing. It was just the itch to get out and do something else. So I would just continue doing that. But given a choice of not grow club and I had resources to do, I think I would open a motorcycle garage. Really.
Interesting. Yeah, that's the answer we wanted. Forget going back to Ogilvy. Motorcycle garage is where it's at.
Yeah, I would definitely have a garage of my
Yeah, he
own.
would have a good experience because he travels Mumbai to Bangalore on his motorbike.
Yeah, I've done several trips.
I've done Bombay Bangalore many times via car, but I've never even thought of doing it on a motorbike. That's crazy. That's 1,000 kilometers.
In fact, my last trip was driving it down because it was raining. No other reason.
Super cool. So that concludes the rapid fire segment, and we're almost through with our conversation. There's this one last part of it. So at the end of every episode, we ask our guest to ask our next guest the question. So first, we will be asking all of you the question from our previous guest, and then each of you can ask a question to our next guest. So the question for you is,
who are the people along your journey that really impacted the way that you thought about building your business, or who are the people that really helped you build your business who is not your co-founder?
Okay. So if I have to name two people, one is Deepak and another one is Purushottam. So Purushottam is a CFO, so who has contributes a lot to our business. And Deepak has been a mentor, and he's been through our thick and thin times.
So,
Yeah.
no, that's interesting. So, Rupesh, do you want to go next?
I think
Arjun,
my daily duties and learnings, both of them, they come from two sets. One are the customers and how they use Grow Club digitally. But the second large set are the people who use the tools that I make. And, you know, I want inputs from them so that I can make that better. So it's not two
fair
people,
enough?
it's two sets of people for me.
Yeah, the two feedback loops that you would create. on a continuous basis. Nice. So Rishi, what about you?
For me, it's my wife and my son, because my wife is a potential customer, my son is a potential consumer.
Hmm.
So both, I see both ends. And being in marketing, I need to understand both mind spaces. Like, what does the kid want? How do they behave every day? Their needs change, and how does the parent react? So even stuff that we do on marketing, I show my wife, and then of course uh, kids wants change, like every 2 hours they want something new. So just to that gives me a lot of insight when we create new communication.
Nice. Sapna, what about you?
For me, it's the kids all around me who impacted. I mean, seeing them is what started. That's how it started. They are the ones who impacted this whole business thing idea.
Nice. But no, so that does bring us to the end of the podcast. And, all of you, thank you so much for giving us your time. We hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed being on, and we absolutely loved having you on the
Thank you,
podcast.
Yeah,
Amit
same
and
here,
Jay,
Anush.
for
Thank you.
Equally
giving this
loved it.
opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for inviting
Yeah,
Thank
me
you.
over.
no problem.